everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be a new release video, kind of talking about the books that just came out, are coming out this year, and a little sneak peek for 2021, because I feel like I've seen a couple books that are being announced and I'm like getting excited already. Even though those ones I probably will not know a lot about them, but still we get to be excited. So okay, so let's just jump into it because I do have quite a few. I want to talk about them. I feel like a few of these I may have mentioned in the beginning of the year, but we didn't know a lot about them, just that they were being announced to be published. So now that we have more information, let's get actually excited about the content too. So the first book is actually the second book in a duology, and it's also the reason I wanted to do this video, because I feel like with the way the year has been, I feel like I have not been following new releases at all, but this book just came out, so I will be reading it and letting you know how it goes, because A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour by Hank Green, which is book 2 after An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which is a really fun first contact with aliens, and I've been recommending it a lot as a, like, if you usually read contemporary on Booktube, like YA-ish. Even though this one is considered adult, I feel like it's might be more like new adult. I feel like it's very accessible for YA reader and people that want to get into sci-fi, because you're following a very normal average 20-year-old woman, and one night when she's walking home in New York at like 2 in the morning, she sees this huge statue and doesn't know what it is. Call her friend, you do a YouTube video, and turns out it's an alien, and she's like the first one to talk about it. So she kind of becomes the ambassador for humanity, and she becomes famous on YouTube overnight, which was an interesting aspect, and I feel like it was well done, obviously because of the author. But I feel like I've read so many books where it's really badly done that it was actually satisfying to see it, and she's actually flawed. And it was really a fun first book. It made it to my most surprising books of last year, and book 2 is coming out, so we get to see her again, and the Carls, which is how the aliens are called, kind of gives you an idea of the sense of humor in there. So yes, I'm very excited to read it. It came out July 7, and it has 464 pages, which is very exciting, because the first book, I have it right here, is like a little shorter, but I feel like it was still packed, 300 and something pages. I feel like often, especially YA books, again, it's not YA, but I feel like it's kind of, like you'll see them being kind of thick, but nothing happens. I feel like this one was really filled with a lot of stuff. So I'm very excited to see that book 2 is actually even bigger. So again, it just came out, so will be one of my next reads for sure. Another book that recently came out that I wanted to mention, because I will be reading it ASAP and letting you know, I kind of want to do, let's start by announcing the book, Emily. I'm sure you've noticed I get super excited and go in tangents. Home Before Dark by Réka Zsigrai. This is going to be the 4th book by the author that I read. I believe he only came out with 4, actually. Let me double check. But it came out June 30th. So yeah, I believe he only came out with 4 books. So this is going to be his 4th book and the 4th one that I read. And I thought I would do like a probably reading vlog, reading it / kind of reviewing all 4 books and letting you know, like, in order which one I prefer, which one I recommend, and just reviewing all of them all in one video. So you have that to look forward to. I'm hoping to do this next month, because it's usually during the end of summer that I start reading a lot of like horror mystery thrillers, and this one is considered, I think, a thriller-ish. And it's about like a haunted house, and the main character, her dad, I believe, wrote a best-selling book on said house, and she goes back, I think, to live there, and she has to figure out if it's actually haunted or if it's, you know, actual human being, which kind of is a theme that the author seems to include in most of his books. So like, is it actually paranormal? Is it people being, you know? So yes, again, that just came out. You have that you can pick up at your library or at the bookstore if you want to, and I will need to read this again in a reading vlog next month. One book that I forgot to include in a lot of like looking forward to reading kind of books is this one, which is The Burning God, which is a 3rd and final book in the Puppy War series trilogy. And I am dying to read this. I feel like people have had like mixed opinions about the Puppy War series in general. I personally really love the first part in the first book, because it's like school setting / magical school. But the series, I feel like, is pretty dark. There's a lot of like trigger warnings because there's a bunch of war happening, so like a lot of horrible stuff happens for sure. It's kind of an epic revenge story with like gods that are not actually good. The magic powers are really interesting, and I feel like from book 1 to book 2 the world becomes so much bigger, and it kind of just gives you an idea that book 3 is going to be even bigger. The intrigue, like a lot of political intrigue, and I like the relationship between the characters, whether they're like enemies or allies. And I personally really enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to it coming out in November. I believe it is 17th, 26th. Both dates are on there. I'm assuming one of them might be UK, US, I don't know. Mid to end of November this year, so we can all look forward to reading that one. Again, we kind of get a little bit of an idea of what it is about. But yes, adult fantasy, I didn't mention it. On September 29th, we can look forward to A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik coming out. And I am personally a little on the fence just because the other book that I've read by her, which was Uprooted, I feel like a lot of people love that one, and I was really disappointed. I actually DNF'd it, did not finish it. And I was really shocked because, again, it seemed super up my alley because magical powers. But I'm very hopeful that I will be loving that one. It seems, again, right up my alley because it is a magical school setting, which, yes. So people have been saying like it's a dark feminist Harry Potter. I am like not listening to any of these things because I feel like it's never actually the case, right? But one of the things I wanted to mention from the little summary is in that magical school, people either, you know, pass, graduate, or they die, which again, right up my alley. So I'm really intrigued about what it is going to be about. I feel like I'm seeing a few reviews from people that got arcs, which I did not. It's okay, I will still be reading it. It seems so far to be received hit or miss. People either absolutely love it or can't finish it. So I'm hoping I will be liking it. I'm hoping the writing style will work because that was also one of my issues with her other book. But again, if you've liked that one, you will probably like that one. So still wanted to give it a shout out. Another one I am incredibly excited to read is The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton, who is the author of The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I have been raving about non-stop. He's finally coming out with another book on October, why is there 2 dates once again? 1st or 6th, whatever, beginning of October this year, and the book is going to have over 400 pages too, so very excited about it. This one seems to also be like a mystery with twist to it, which was the case again with his other book. And you're following the world's greatest detective, and he is on a boat to bring him to be executed. But on that trip, people start to be murdered, I think. It seems to be like a devil, you know, marking people that will be killed, him included. So is it a demon? Is it someone? Who knows? I am super intrigued to read more by him. So I will 100% be reading this. This year. Yes, definitely add this to your TBR because one book that I do have an arc for, which again means I will be reading it ASAP, is The Invisible Life of Adaline, which is coming out October 6th and again has over 400 pages, which this book was written by V. Schwab, which I feel like a lot of people know about her on Booktube, and when I heard what it was about, I freaked out a little bit inside, even though it seems like there is a romance in there, but she tends to not write romance, so I'm like very hopeful it's still going to be working for me, / I have liked some of them. But this book was first pitched as a love story between a French girl and a devil over 300 years. Which is when I added it to my TBR. But more information has since come out, and now they are adding that basically the woman makes a bargain to live forever, but it curses her to be forgotten by everyone she meets. But after over 300 years, she meets a young man in a hidden bookstore and he remembers her name. So I'm still very much intrigued. I don't know if the other, you know, information was wrong or not, but I am reading this. And I'm going to try to read it before it comes out so I can let you know how high on your TBR it should be. Another book coming out in October. I feel like October, we will spend our days reading. Like, I'm just letting you know right now. Because Matt Haig, which is the author of The Humans that I've been raving about again nonstop, is coming out October 20th with The Midnight Library, which, again, when it was first announced, the author tweeted that it was about a library between life and death, where a suicidal woman full of regrets gets to try all the other lives she could have lived. Which, this is when, again, I added it to my TBR ASAP. Since then, a little bit more has been added, basically telling you that the main character might have the possibility of changing her life. Would she do it? Would she do something different? And again, I need this book in my life for sure. Quickly wanted to announce a book that, I mean, this is the 4th book in a series. I'm still reading the first one, so should I even add this in here? Yes, I should. It is Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. It is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive. I'm still reading The Way of Kings, like I was saying, so whatever, but it's coming out November 17, and it's going to be over 1,000 pages, so. And super quickly, I wanted to mention 4 books that so far I know are coming out in 2021. If you have any other ones that you want to let me know about, do that. I will for sure do a video about that, you know, end of the year or beginning of next year to just let you know more. But, you know, I found 4 and I'm very excited, so we're doing this. The first one is the 6th book in this series, the Wayward Children series by Shauna Marie. The title is Across the Green Grass Field. No, grass. Across the Green Grass Fields, that is coming out January 12th, the 12th of January, and it's going to be 176 pages. I've had like a hit and miss relationship with her books so far. My favorite are book 4, 100%, and book 1. But I keep saying, oh my god, yeah, but it's there. I will most likely read it because I can't deal. I love her writing. It's just that usually I feel like I need more action in the books. Like it skips ahead usually, except book 4. One that I was super excited to find out that it's coming out 16th of February next year. It's going to be 368 pages, at least so far. It is going to be the 4th book in the Wayfarers series by Becky Chambers. The first book being The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which is one of my favorite sci-fi series. It's super wholesome, which is just not usually a mix sci-fi and wholesome, but she does it very well. So that one is going to be called The Galaxy and the Ground Within. So like I said, this is book 4. So far, they've been more companion novels than really like a series. So I'm not sure how related it is to the other ones, although you do have mostly to read all of them for it to make sense, really. But yeah, I'm just excited to go back into that universe and read anything else by her. Skyward number 3 is coming out in 2021. There's no specific date, but with Brandon Sanderson, we know that if he announces something, it will happen, which is great. So far, he's expecting a spring release. Last but not least, this book was supposed to be published this year, but it's being pushed back to next year, and it is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. It is going to be an adult series about vampires, which I feel like they've been less popular, but maybe they're coming back. I'm kind of curious to see what his take on it is going to be. Because it's adult, I will be reading it. I really love his adult stuff. His YA stuff hasn't worked for me, so again, so far they're saying fall 2021, and they're saying 24 years have passed since the last sunrise. And it's supposed to be 400 pages. So these are all the books on my list. Let me know if I'm missing anything, because I would love to add more books and be more excited about more stuff, because yes, please. Hopefully you have found some new books to add also to your TBR. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I shall see you very soon in another video. Bye.